Goose, here. Goose. I have a cat, and she lives life for herself. But she doesn't live life for me. And my Australian Shepherds live life for me.
Cat people, I think, thrive on rejection. Dog people are relationship builders.
I think Izzy has given me something that I very much wanted, which is a way to use the dogs to connect more with people, to find more love, to find more intimacy, and to grow up more.
Thought I'd never be that guy, but now I'm that guy. I'm wiping butts, doing it all. Gotta find a girlfriend who likes to sleep with the dogs in the bed. I mean, I'll do anything you want, ladies, but the dogs gotta sleep in the bed.
I think dog people tend to be overindulgent of their pets.
I think I would give up my baby before I would give up my dogs.
A dog will run up to anybody and lick him. You know, the deli guy comes over and the dog's giving him the same love he's giving me when he comes home. Whereas this cat's not talking to anybody but me.
I don't necessarily always want somebody banging down my door, you know, looking to be petted. You know, I definitely get the unconditional love from Humphrey, but he's a little bit more subtle with it.
Dogs are optimists and cats are kind of cynical. Cats have a staff and dogs have family.
If you don't like cats, you haven't made the time to know a cat. And so I think if you open up and look through that feminine window for 15 minutes...
Is that the window we need to look through?
That's the window we need to look through. You don't have any trouble, especially in that shirt.
Is that right?
The cat is a good judge of character. There was somebody recently who was in my life, and the first time the cat saw her, he was like, dude, you know what I mean? This person is trouble.
She had 2 cats when we met. And then I came into the picture. And I don't think they really liked that.
I mean, they didn't like you.
Yeah.
One reason we love dogs, we see ourselves in them. And it is ourselves.
I think in our rush to make dogs just like us, we sometimes fail to appreciate what makes them different. And I think they're another tribe. I mean, they're not like us. They have their own language, communication, their own instincts. So I actually celebrate them for the differences. I think what I really love about dogs and cats is that they're not like us.
Oh yeah, do you like this? So sometimes she gets her tough self on and...
I'm Sarah Wilson. I'm a professional dog trainer, and I'm a lifelong student of the human-animal bond. Who's the best?
Come on, boo-boo. Okay, here we go. Ready? Hit it!
Half the fun of going to the dog run is seeing the whole rainbow of dog owners and dog combinations. How many fingers?
I am a singer, teacher, actress, and now he's following in my footsteps. He's going to be a performer too, right, Tiger? Achoo! Achoo! Oh, boy.
People think that your eyes are the window into your soul. It's your dog. It's how you deal with your dog. It's how you praise your dog. It's how you interact with your dog.
Come here, Pooch. Ruby's defiance and stubbornness kind of took me by surprise. Sit. Ruby. Sit. Like right now, she's kind of like, I don't want it. It's sort of a blessing in disguise in that it's pointed to things that I need to work on in my own life.
What are you thinking of when you think that?
Some confidence.
Right, you got what you needed, maybe not what you wanted.
Yeah.
Through the years of being a professional dog trainer, I've seen patterns of behavior between owners and their dogs. And I've identified 9 of these patterns. And I see them all over, and you will too. We have the soulmate, the observer, the buddy, the idealist, the dynamo, the free spirit, the angel, the master, and the expert. Kathy and Ross were angel types. They want to save a dog. They don't want to control the dog. They want to heal through love.
This is Jasper.
Yes.
He's a rescue.
He has terrible separation anxiety.
Okay. How does that display itself?
He runs in circles and becomes hysterical if somebody tries to leave the apartment. Anybody.
When you've left and you come home, what's the situation? Is he in a panic?
No, he's actually sleeping.
Yeah, so that's not separation.
Yeah.
Separation anxiety is
That's
fear
right.
when he's left alone.
He will attack me, or he'll try to get between me and Kathy when we kiss.
And you...
I try and calm him down and reassure him it's okay.
Tell him right now that it's okay.
Jasper, come here. Oh, what a good boy. It's okay. Yeah,
And
good boy.
And now he thinks you praise him. Every time he aggresses at Ross, he thinks he's being praised. And he goes, well, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. I'll do that.
He gets right between us and goes, I dare you to go nearer.
Yeah. And could anybody else on the planet get away with that?
No.
Dog owners that I would call angels classically have this problem. I go in and commonly see people who are not having sex because of their dogs. This happens because they're so loving with the dog that they don't tell the dog to knock it off like they would anybody else. Is this common?
No.
Because he's basically
Keeps my head warm.
mounting you. You are putting him in the mounting position.
Oh, not good.
And you are putting a dog who aggresses at you in your own bed in the mounting position on your head. Do you think that in any way might be confusing to the dog?
That's really confusing.
Okay, so why don't we dismount the dog? There we go.
Okay.
There
you go.
Here's the leash, yeah.
Okay.
Dogs are sometimes some of the longest relationships we have. They'll be with us for 12 years, 13 years. I think the average marriage now is, what, 3.5 years? Such a good boy.
This is what I call the dog of my lifetime. You know, he's been my best friend. He's been my Friday night companion when I didn't want to go out or couldn't go out or didn't have anyone to go out with or whatever the situation was.
You are a classic soulmate type. Just, you love to love him. You want to be with him, and you share things.
I actually say that. I'm like, why do I love you so much? And like, it's just because. Like, it's the kind of love that's uncomplicated. It's just truthful.
Dogs are what we call congruent. They act the way they feel, and they feel the way they act, which is one of the problems with people, right? You don't always know what's going on, but they're authentic, and you can trust that.
And I just broke up with my boyfriend. It was really mean. But I said, you know, I just wish I could love you like I love Zachary. And like, I know that was really mean, but I meant it, and I couldn't, and I'm single. So, you know, it's just the way it is.
Carlo is a classic buddy type. He and his dog are a unit. If you start talking about relationship too much, most buddies get a bubble over their head, like, couldn't we go outside and play ball or do something like more interesting than this?
I want to take her everywhere I go. You know, if I could take her to work, I would, you know.
Absolutely.
She just hangs out, and she's just happy to be at my feet. She's very low maintenance, very, very low maintenance.
She might make a great personal ad. You know exactly what you need. You know, occupies herself, not too demanding, wants to do her outdoor things.
Yeah, you're making me think now that you said that. It's kind of creepy.
It's no surprise to me that we look for in a dog what we want in a best friend or another sort of companion. Of course, because they are family and they are that sort of companion.
All right, calm down.
With Carl and Jay, we have the master-observer combo.
Tell her about the rules.
Oh, well, most of the time when I'm home with him alone, there aren't many rules. As soon as the gate opens and Carla comes home, that's when the rules begin.
He gets affection when I want him to have affection. He has to ask to get up on the couch.
Want to like throw the toys for him, and I say that's enough. Well, no, he keeps dropping it on my lap and pestering me until I keep doing it.
And he can do what he wants in the house, but when we go out and about, I've got the leash.
That's the master's deal. They love through protection, and protection for them is control. Jay just lets Rio be a dog, and that's the observer type. Were you only or a double? How many kids did you have in your family?
I have 3 natural sisters and an adopted brother and sister. I'm the oldest.
And you were the responsible one?
Correct.
And you?
And me, well, I was the middle child, so I was kind of just basically chasing butterflies all the time.
See the linkages here at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
For years, we've been trying to get people to train their dogs, and it hasn't helped. Why? Because we're missing the point entirely. It is not about that end of the leash. It is about us. It is about our relational patterns. It is about our perspectives.
I am Diana Corton, and I live here with my 2 daughters, my 5-year-old and my 10-year-old, and we are all cat lovers, which is a good thing since we live with 6 cats. This is Little Bit. Gussie is back here hiding because she is definitely the shyest cat of the whole bunch. This is Helen. Helen is my oldest cat. She's the social pariah of my little cat colony here. The other cats really don't like her. Then here we have Henry. Henry is my dear friend. This is Ben. And this is Daisy. She is my problem child and the final, and I really mean the final addition to the family. So you hear that? She's very crabby. She's not crabby with people. She's just crabby with other cats.
I'm making a feast and for the kitties with their food. And this is a little trick I like to do, and they really like it. I pour some of the dry food in the little bowl.
Well, the thing is that cats live together, and it's not just an aggregation, which is a gathering of animals around a food source. It's actually a society. They can walk past another cat and just brush like this, and that means something much more. I mean, it's less demonstrative than, say, a dog would be, so people missed it completely because their signs are so subtle. Recently, it's been shown that there's a time-sharing society.
We think of territory in terms of square footage, while cats think of it in terms of paths. And they work everything on timeshare arrangements. If one cat, like this is their favorite place to sleep in the morning, another cat can have that place to sleep at night. They really get along very well.
I think I came up with a better idea.
Yes. I feel like the cats ask politely when they want something. You know, rather than barking at you, they come and rub against your leg when they want to be fed. You like that, salmon? I just feel like it's a relationship of equals. When I'm around dogs, they dominate me. They just boss me around. They don't see me as an authority figure. The three little kittens, they lost their mittens, and they began to cry. I love the anticipation of little feet at night. I love the sound of purring. I love just the feel of their fur, like it's a pleasure to just touch them and stroke them. They come. You know, they come and they comfort you. I did a lot of crying through my divorce. I don't know how I would have survived if it wasn't for these cats. One of the things that has been such a godsend for me about Ben is April has opposition defiance disorder. Basically that means that, you know, even if you say, April, you want to go get some ice cream? She'll be like, no! She'll get into one of her tantrums, into one of her states, and the best thing to do to calm her down is just to bring her Ben. The way that he loves her so absolutely makes me feel like this cat was made for that girl, and that girl was made for this cat.
We share a very special relationship with dogs and cats, for example, because we co-evolved. We made dogs and cats who they are, and in some ways they fed back and influenced who we are. The fundamental ingredient is shared emotions. We share all the nitty-gritty parts of the brain, and we share all the neurochemicals and all the neurotransmitters. But most importantly for most people is we share their emotions. We now know that animals have what are called mirror neurons, and mirror neurons allow us to mirror in our own brains the feelings and the emotions of another animal. It's revolutionized the field. Mirror neurons can be looked at as the neural basis for empathy. And that's just very important in the formation and the maintenance of the strong social bonds that we form with dogs and cats, and they form with one another. So across a species, but it also works within species.
Jerry's been with us through the most important part of our lives. We got him soon after we got married, bought our first house, started a business. God, we went whole hog, and we were working every day for 12 hours a day, and Jerry was always with us because we always worked out of our home office. We used to call him the CFO, the Chief Fun Officer.
Or the Canine Fun Officer.
Canine Fun Officer, yeah.
He would come at 4:30, 5 o'clock. He'd know what time it was. He would nudge the keyboard. We would go on hikes, and he would, run and play and swim way out in the backcountry. 5, 6 years went by where he was just the most playful, friendly part of the family. Our last hike, just a couple weeks after that, he started limping. And they said it was arthritis, so we put him on a drug. A couple weeks went by, took him off the drug, and he was limping worse. I pressed on his shoulder one night, I'll never forget it, and he just let out a yelp like it was bloody murder.
Awful.
There was a tumor about the size of a mango growing inward, so we didn't see it through his fur.
Yeah, you couldn't feel it.
And the doctor said, sorry to say it, but it's cancer, and we were put on the spot. Amputate, and he'll have a bit longer to live, or medicate him.
If he could have a good quality of life on 3 legs, even if it was just a few months, that's all that mattered. A lot of people look at a dog with 3 legs and just think, it's terrible, why would you do that? Dogs are meant to have 4 legs.
Going to the hospital.
The doctor told us he's already on 3 legs. Doing this will get rid of his pain. At that point, it was just, no-brainer. Because, I want more time with Jerry. The doctor told us he had 3 to 4 months to live. The routine that Jerry didn't like was waiting all day for us to play with him. So we decided to take this road trip, see new places with him, take him out into the wilderness where he loves to be. And our life just took this 180, and it was all about Jerry. And here we are 14 months later. He just wants to play, play, play. He says, let's go.
Oh, Snow, look! Snow! Oh my God.
We decided we're not going to put him through any chemotherapy treatments. And not to do x-rays every few weeks like they said we could do to see if something was coming back. We decided it was better not to know. I figured he would let us know when he was sick. We knew the signs. He would stop eating, he would get lethargic. I want to see Jerry playing and enjoying life until that happens. And when that time comes, by all means, man.
A lot of people thought we were nuts when we sold our business and our house and said we were going to travel for a while. How far do you go for a dog? I mean, he's not a kid, he's not a human, but he means so much to us. I can't picture our lives without him.
I'm actually an equal opportunity pet lover, animal lover, because I love dogs and cats equally, but in different ways. Years ago, I met a psychic who explained this to me, that dogs and cats feed into different parts of our personality. Dogs are emotion, and they also wiggle a lot, and cat.
wake up earlier, go running, and be more active. You need to do this like at least twice a week.
See, and then they'll get exercise.
Get Sasha a boyfriend.
You as the adopter come in, you fill out a survey. That survey color codes you either purple, orange, or green. Animals that are within your color code are most likely to match based on your expectations and the dog or cat's behavior.
Look at you.
We do an assessment on the dogs. We look at play behavior, we look at how hard the dog will work for something, and from those assessment items, we determine that dog's caninality.
What a good girl. Good girl.
We have the purple dogs, the orange dogs, and the green dogs. Those are based on what we call the persistence scales.
Come here, Zoe. You don't want to drink?
How hard is this dog going to work for what he wants? Purple dogs won't work very hard for something that they want. If they don't get it easily, they're just going to give up and go lay down. Our orange dogs are our medium persistence dogs. These behavioral traits stay fairly stable in the home. Finally, our green dogs are very, very persistent and will likely learn how to get what they want. One of the ways that we determine the caninality, the individual name that that dog ends up with, whether he's a busy bee or a goofball or a wallflower, is his motivation type.
You're a goofball. Oh, I would have guessed that. Oh, boy.
We have some dogs that are socially motivated. They want to pay attention to us a lot. We have dogs that are internally motivated by stuff that we can't easily manipulate. And then dogs that we call externally motivated, so they're motivated by lots of different things, food and toys and people.
Oh, is it yours now?
He is definitely a go-getter. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So he's going to need a lot of attention.
I definitely think it's too much dog.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, maybe we can.
Too much.
Maybe this is too much. For
Yeah.
us.
He's a good dog, but I don't think so.
In the U.S., between 5 and 7 million companion animals enter our shelters every year. Of those, 60% of the dogs and between 70 and 75% of the cats never leave. They're euthanized. With the Meet Your Match program, we can actually decrease returns by more than half. So the reason for this program becomes very clear.
Hi, my name is Fluffy. You're working on the computer. Let me press the keys. You're reading the paper. We're here to adopt Fluffy, Itzy's little sister. We adopted her last week, and we found out that her sister was here, and we just want to give her a home to her. We want to at least look at her and see if we want her.
It would be interesting to see what would happen, you know, if we get her home with the other one.
We lost nobody in February to cancer, and then in September we lost somebody. And then in December, when we lost anybody too, we had her cremated, and we have all their remains, and we have them in cat urns, and they're on our fireplace. They're always going to be with us, and
Guess we're weird.
we just love our cats.
While Itzy was in the shelter, she went through the same exact assessment that Fluffy went through, and they both came out as orange cats. Fluffy told us in her assessment that she's even more social than Itzy. She's what we would call a gregarious cat.
I'm hoping that this one will become my cat because Itzy has adopted Bill.
There's not room for two in my lap.
Melvin. Let's see, like all sidekicks, I'm just plain good company. I like attention, and I also like my solitude, which is good.
For our cats, we actually use the same colors, purple, orange, and green, but they mean different things. We're looking at something that we call valiant. Some might call it confidence. It's really shy versus bold. The assessor just watches the interaction of the cat around the room. How is the cat moving about? Is his body tall? Is his body low? What amount of time does he spend interacting with the assessor? We also have another scale. It's the independent gregarious scale, and there we're looking at social behavior. We pick the cat up and we hold him up against our body. There's a lot of cats that enjoy touch but don't like to be held, so that's great information for our adopters. We just simply stroke the cat, and we give them 5 long strokes. Cats that get fairly overstimulated towards that touch or move away from the touch are cats that are not as likely to do as well with children.
So this is Melvin. Melvin is actually an orange kitty. He's what we call a sidekick.
He was a stray. It looks like somebody brought him in. He's been here about a month, quite a while. You know, he's an adult gray cat. They tend to stay longer than most, probably second to our black cats.
Yeah, the other one that we were looking at.
Oh.
Wow.
There could be 80 cats to choose from on the adoption floor, and in some shelters even more than that. So it helps, it makes it fun. I'm narrowing down my focus. I'm a purple person, so I'm going to focus on a purple cat. Puck scored in the purple range. Purple cats are probably going to hide a little bit more. They take a little bit longer to adjust to new situations. I think we're leaning more toward Mario. Yeah. Once you make that decision to bring an animal home, it can be heart-wrenching to have to bring them back. Having realistic expectations about your pet will increase the bond. The animal's going to be much more likely to stay in the home. And that means that more lives can be saved in shelters.
I love her. I want to take her home. Absolutely.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, buddy. There you go. Come on, buddy. No, come on. Ready up and go. Good job, buddy.
Brian gets home from work. He lies on the bed. He gets in his comfy shorts and t-shirt, and he lies there, and Miles jumps on his chest, purrs, gives kisses, and that's decompression time. That's 15 minutes of just leave me alone. Only Miles.
Every day.
Every day.
Right.
It's like they're male bonding. I got a little jealous.
They bring out the softer side of me. Does that sound weird?
No, it doesn't sound weird. Well, thank God.
What do you think? There's nothing like that direct eye-to-eye contact I have with this cat than I have ever encountered with another animal, and I dare say with some humans. There's a soulfulness, there's a depth of spirit here that I think cats own uniquely.
It was the cat that saved me. I mean, if you want me to get real personal about it, I would like lock myself in this room and just drink all the time, you know, for like all day long, you know? And I would come out and humans couldn't even reach me at that point. When I was at my bottom, it was the cat who would wait outside that door for 8 hours till I'd come out. And then he'd look at me just because he wanted to walk over to, to eat with me. You know, his big thing is he likes me to sit with him and eat. He likes the nourishment, not just from the food, but he likes the companionship ever since he was a kitten. And, it was having to look him in the eye and knowing what I was doing to myself that got me to seek help for that problem and not isolate.
I've always had cats in my life. I have a cat currently named Smokey, and I'm kind of a one-cat person. I've never had more than one at a time. When I met Diana's cats, they came running up to me, and they have quite distinct personalities. It'll be visuals with the pictures of animals and then commentary about
Are you
their
talking
lives.
about your pet project?
Right.
Did you bring that CD?
I did.
Can we listen to it?
Sure.
In Western culture, the cat is so associated with the feminine, and I think that men who have gotten in touch with their cat selves tend to be a little more emotionally in tune. Ken is so emotionally involved with his animals that he has composed musical portraits of them.
I find animals to be a very great stimulant to creativity. Smokey in particular is a very affectionate creature. He sits at my feet when I write music. He is definitely a muse, and one of the finest ones that I have ever had. And that's one of the main reasons I felt like I wanted to do this minor tribute to show some of my regard for these wonderful creatures and how they had enriched my life.
I have an old saying that if you teach a cat one new trick every month, because of the communication that's building between the cat and the owner, behavior problems eventually will melt away. We preach with dogs that people should spend more time training, doing agility. Well, the cat's no different. The cat needs that same interaction, will benefit from it, definitely needs exercise, needs something to think about, not just the next meal.
This weekend, we are at the International Cat Association big annual cat show. I've brought 8 cats today. All 8 of them are going to participate in agility. How they do, I don't know.
Here's the deal. See this? You go over it. Yeah, like that.
This is Slick Willie. He's a little 6-month-old Cornish Rex. He's my best shot for the weekend.
My parents, when they first heard I was going to do this, they said, "Oh no, I don't think so, Shirley. You know,